ECSI fans, you want to revolutionize your sports investing habits? Allow me to tell you about WagerWire. WagerWire is an app that helps you become a superior bettor by allowing you to sync all your sports books and track all your bets in one place. See your current action, your betting history, and stats. You could also sign up for sports books and collect bonus offers. Follow them at WagerWire on X, as it's the best account on the platform. Head to App Store or Play Store now and search WagerWire and download the app.
Excuse me, Mr. DJ.
Hey, check this out. We got a great show coming your way.
From the ECSI Sports Studios, it's the Midday Market Report with Jeff Dawson.
Good afternoon, sports fans from all around the globe. I am the host, Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors, and it's our weekly spot with good friend and colleagues, Mr. Matt Grissom at the NCAA Insiders, and of course, Quentin Mills, as we talk week 3 already, guys, college baseball. Matt's live in Vegas, living the high life at the Circa, just coming off a VEGAS spot. So he has blessed us with an appearance today. And of course, Quentin Mills, some midweek eye openers. You know, the world's ending is, 5 of the top 10 all come crashing down. You're not going to win every game in baseball, guys. It's baseball. And there's no crying in baseball either. But look at some of what happened last weekend, what they thought of some of the upsets, and get them ready for some Friday night lights. But first and foremost, a shout out to our proud sponsor and partnership. It's WagerWire. Head on over to Google Play. Download that app. It is free. So without further ado, let's bring them in. Mr. Matt Grissom and Mr. Quentin Mills. What's up, boys?
Hello, Jeffrey.
Always a pleasure, Jeff.
Always a pleasure. I'm going to dig deep so I don't screw this up. So just bear with me for 1 second here as I go through and of course, I'm not going to find it, right? I had it for you guys. There was about 4 or 5 upsets midweek. I mean, we're talking the big boys.
UCLA.
LSU.
Yeah.
I had a picture of it. I know I retweeted it. I thought I grabbed the picture. I was going to have the 5 games all here for us. And of course, now I can't find it. That's just how we live here. But anyways, surprised, shocked. I mean, it's baseball, Q.
No, teams are going to lose. Nobody's going to go undefeated. These midweeks, I think in 2024, Florida showed it. It doesn't matter. As long as you win the weekends and you beat the ranked opponents and you get hot in the postseason. So, again, teams aren't going to be undefeated. They're going to drop these. And for these mid-majors, like when you're playing in LSU, that's your Super Bowl for all intents and purposes for the week or a season, depending on where you're at in your season. So, it's expected. You just have to be mindful of it and pick your spots.
Matt?
Yeah, 4 of the top 6 go down, and like you said, that's just baseball. It's going to happen.
Now, I think I jogged the memory. Arkansas was one of them, right?
Yep. They got throttled by Arkansas State, the first time in program history that they beat them in baseball. So big win for Mike Silva and the Red Wolves.
That sets up Friday night lights. Of course, we got games going on right now. Arizona State, Mississippi State, bottom of the 5th, zeros. Ohio State 2-1 lead over Texas San Antonio. Last weekend, I'll start with you, Matt. What'd your eyes see last weekend?
Tennessee is going to struggle this year. I think we saw A&M do it last year with Michael Early. It's just something about a first-year head coach. They could have all the talent in the world, and I think Tennessee does, but you saw them drop that series and not embarrassing fashion, but it was pretty ugly for Tennessee. They may right the ship. They may be an Omaha team. I don't know. I think jury's still out on them, but that was probably the biggest takeaway for me. I mean, you look around the league, UCLA took it to TCU. that was a really impressive series sweep, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think TCU got game 3. Now that I'm thinking
No,
about
they
that.
lost all 3.
So, I mean, it's just going to be separating the who's who of college baseball this year. I mean, Georgia, Georgia Tech both look really good. LSU still looks solid. So there's a lot of parity this year. I feel like I say it year in and year out now, but with the transfer portal, who knows where we're going to be in a week, much less 4 months when it's time for Omaha.
Mr. Quentin Mills.
So I didn't get to watch too much. I was at Greenville and then at Durham, so we had a little travel there. But from what I did see, I mean, ECU, don't count them out. They got blown out 10-0 at home. By the way, I recommend anybody go to Greenville. It's just a wonderful place, great baseball, fan base. It's a solid park. So take a trip there if you can. But they bounced back in a very good way against a very good UNC team, and then they tied 3-3 on the Sunday game. So I think they're motivated. And then one team that's down, I think it's TCU. Right, you have a couple injuries, but they just had no life. They haven't had any life since Globe Life. They lose the midweek, returning to Globe Life. You think they'll bounce back, have a solid performance against UCLA, and it just didn't happen. I don't know what Kirk Saarloos has to do. Allegedly, through sources, they've already had a players-only meeting, and when you're 2 weeks into the season, that does not sound good. You should be dialed in from opening day, and that should be towards the latter part of the season, and here we are, week 2. So maybe it's the point in the season they needed. It just came a little earlier than some, but I do think there should be some concerns there for the Horned Frogs.
I'm going to stay with UQ. Mississippi State takes a 1-0 lead, bottom of the 5th, there against Arizona State. Q, give us your update on your Florida Gators.
Big series. They're going to be going to South Beach, playing Miami. JD Arguello's got those guys playing with good bats and a lot of luck. I don't know if you've watched the last few times they've won. They've won multiple games over the last week and a half, and in the bottom of the 9th or the top of the 9th. I lost the season heartbreak of the year so far was FAU plus 3.5. And give up a 7 spot and you don't cover. That's tough. But FAU is a good program, good mid-major. Florida's going to have to step up. Liam Peterson's going to have to show that he can be an ace on a Friday night. So hopefully my bulletin board week 1 thought still hangs high in his locker, and we can get that win against a quality Miami team who is definitely going to be in the postseason and can be dangerous.
Matt, you talked about the shocker against Arkansas State. Give us your 2-week so far Arkansas update.
Yeah, the offense, as Dave Van Horn put it, it's an issue, and we'll see if they can get it figured out against UT Arlington. They're going to score runs. They beat TCU after the weekend in Globe Life, and they're a salty little team. So it's going to be a struggle. The pitching staff is solid, so that's going to keep them in every series. But, yeah, they got to wake the bats up.
Matt, we've been doing shows. This is year number 4. How come every year it seems we're talking about the Arkansas offense?
Yeah, it's their
right on schedule.
Yep. Yeah, early in the season especially. But I think they have the makings of having a really talented team. They're all dealing with the flu right now. It went through the clubhouse, and, next guy's got to step up. There's a lot of talent on the team, but your freshmen that are playing, they've got to get more comfortable in the box. Your transfers like TJ Pompey, Mike Anu, they're going to have to come through. Like, batting 205 is not going to cut it, especially when you get into SEC play.
I'm trying to run over here to DraftKings before we get some leans for you guys this weekend, and I'm trying to see something here if they have it. College baseball. Let's go see here. World Conference, World Series. I'm just going to go to the World Series right now. LSU plus 650. UCLA, Georgia at 1,100. Matt, your Arkansas Razorbacks at 1,300. Texas 1,400, Georgia Tech 15, Vandy 18, Tennessee 18, North Carolina 19, Oklahoma, which you guys have talked about, at plus 2,500 right now, and Florida at plus 3,000. Any of these numbers, guys, jump out at you initially?
Well, Oklahoma dropped. I mean, they pretty much dropped in half. I want to say they were 55-1. Does that sound right, Matt?
Yeah, something like that.
Florida's
51.
dropped down 10. I mean, they're playing good ball. It makes sense. I think they were priced way too high. You could probably still grab them and get a good number, but I think it's just too early to tell right now, to be honest. I think you got to see what these teams are going to be like, especially the SEC teams. And Matt, you could probably either agree or interject. You got to see what Arkansas is going to do against top talent. You got to see what Florida's going to do against the Miami and how they act in the SEC. And same for the UNCs. I mean, you played a good ECU team, and now we got to see what you're going to do against the top ACC teams.
Mississippi State just hit a 3-run home
Massive home run.
Up
no
4-0
doubt.
now. I like Texas 14-1. I think when you're looking at the trends of being a complete team, the Longhorns fit that bill, and it's still a decent price. Interestingly enough, Circa has Georgia 18-1. So I think I'm going to hit that before I leave. They were my team. If you read the Diamond Report, they were the team I wanted to hold and see what they were going to make of this transfer portal heavy team. And so far, they're really good. The pitching staff looks very complete, and Joey Volchko looks like a solidified ace. We know the bats. I feel like every year they're always leading at some point in weighted runs created. They're mashing the ball really well. So you pair that with a really solid pitching staff. I think Georgia's just as alive as anybody, and at 18-1 at Circa, it's a pretty fair price.
And we always talk about shopping around, having as many outlets as you can. And Matt, you're in Circa now. We know DraftKings, FanDuel are the square books, but when you get an outlier like that, as you said, you got to come home with something, right?
Yeah, it's funny because, and I talked about it today on VSiN, like for college baseball, Las Vegas is probably the worst place to be. I think you'd be better off being somewhere with DraftKings, FanDuel, because those are the ones. Like I haven't found a Florida Gulf Coast, and that's one of my favorite plays today. I've looked at Boyd, I've looked at William Hill. Circa hasn't posted their lines yet for the day. So, and like I said, we've got baseball already on and nowhere to bet. So that is tough.
I'm seeing a Circa number minus 150, by the way, on your Florida Gulf Coast.
Okay, so they must have just.
That's actually a little better than DK, right?
Yeah, they were 154.
Buckeye 158, Bet Online 170, FanDuel 158 right now. Q, before we get to Friday Night Lights, I'm going to ask you this. Preseason, number one, UCLA. They are now currently plus 1,100. I mean, is that going to be the high point, or a couple more losses you think you could sit and hold off if you wanted to add the Bruins to your portfolio?
It's really going to depend on what they do the first couple weeks of the Big Ten. If they lose the series there, you might be able to get a big number, but I just don't see that being realistic. Outside of Oregon, they're just head and shoulders the best team in the Big Ten. I mean, it would take a lot for them to drop a series. So I don't know if you're going to get a better number. If you haven't already bought them, maybe now is your chance. I would not bank on them losing a series in the Big Ten if that's where you're trying to put your money.
Friday Night Lights, week number 3. I'll start with you, Q. What are your eyes on?
So I gave it out on VSiN. I like UVA, ECU in a parlay. UVA's bats have looked phenomenal this year, albeit it's against weaker competition. But VCU's had a decent season. UVA is just way more talented to them. They're at home. They're playing well. They kind of have something to prove after a bad year last year. And I don't feel like Chris Pollard's maybe had the pressure of like a Mike Early or a Josh Elander, because the way things happened last year, Virginia was just so bad and so underwhelming that it kind of took the stress off. in my opinion. And Henry Zakowski is a great starter. And then, like I said, East Carolina, I saw him battle back and have some moxie against UNC. They go ahead and they win the midweek. They're playing with something to prove and that they're a quality team and can right the ship. I think they're playing with a lot of momentum. You parlay that, it's minus 120. I love it.
Matt?
Florida Gulf Coast was one of my favorite bets, and then I bet Miami. I think the Hurricanes are legit. I still think Florida probably wins this series, but I can't trust Liam Peterson until I see it in multiple games. So I think it's going to be a tight game. It'll be a fun one. Minus 130 on the Hurricanes. Felt like that was a fair price. They're at home. Yeah, Florida's won 6 of the last 9 in this matchup, but this Hurricanes team looks special, so we'll see if they can keep this up.
Any closing thoughts from you, Matt?
Just building out the list of aces we can trust that are good for parlay pieces. I've got Hunter Elliott with Ole Miss, Dax Whitney with Oregon State, Jake Marciano with Auburn, Jackson, Florida with UC Santa Barbara, Aiden Knock with Clemson, Gabe Gackle for Arkansas, and Jackson Jelkin for Kentucky. So like any of those two, if you can get them around plus money or, minus 130, 140, you're in good shape. I don't like putting more than 2 of them together, but, in some cases where it's minus 500, you may have to throw somebody in.
Q?
Yeah, I'll give you a play to look out for. Hopefully Florida keeps it close against Miami, and you get a good number on Aiden King tomorrow. I know he's not a Friday night ace, but he absolutely should be. He's one of the best pitchers in the SEC and college baseball as a sophomore. I'll be all over him as long as you get a good number, and I'm sure Matt will too. I mean, he's just an ace, so be on the lookout for that line. Miami has a pretty significant drop-off due to injury from their Friday to their Saturday and Sunday guys, so I do think if you can somehow find a series price, I don't even know if they're doing that right now. Florida's a good spot, but you can take them game by game, game 2 and 3, and I think you have a good chance.
Scroll has been going the whole time at College Baseball CNT, at M. Grissom, Quentin Mills, at Q Millie, 3 L's, 2 Y's. Nick Hatcoat, of course, will be here back on Tuesday. We had the blizzard. We couldn't catch him at N Hatcoat 413. As we always wrap up this segment, Q, tell them where they can find all the work.
At Q Millie, 3 L's, 2 Y's, at The Insiders, which is College Baseball Insiders Twitter. And then you can follow all of our insights at the Insiders Clubhouse, collegebaseballinsiders.com.
Mr. Grissom.
Yeah, collegebaseballinsiders.com. Awesome tool right now. We've got most of the starting pitchers in if you're looking for that handicapping information. And the model has now been updated with the current stats. So, yeah, we're done with 2025 statistics and on to what we've seen so far.
I can't believe it's already week 3. Next Thursday, 1 o'clock, unless something is posted on our timeline, the boys will be back. Matt will be back home. Q will be here. Week number 4, we'll be coming into a month already. Just time flies. So make sure you're following these guys at M. Grissom, at Q Millie, 3 L's, 2 Y's, of course, at The Insiders. Any questions, comments, concerns, you can reach out to either one of these 2 gentlemen. Follow them. They'll follow you back, and they'll answer all your questions. So for myself, Jeff Dawson at EC Sports Invest, the one and only Mr. Matt Grissom and Quentin Mills, wish everyone a blessed day. The weekend is here, gentlemen and ladies. Enjoy yourselves, behave, and always stay in your lanes. Stay tuned.